Hi everyone, welcome to the pod. Dude, you guys, this whole pod walking thing is literally the shit. I feel like I've unlocked something inside me and I'm just like, wow, this is like where I'm meant to like harness my energy so I can share that with you guys through my words in this podcast. So I'm really fucking excited that I figured this out. That's why exploration, curiosity, openness to trying new and different things, doing things differently, it's so important because if I felt like if I continue to believe that what that I had to be in my room and sitting on a chair for like 2 hours or however long I record a podcast with a headset on and just sitting in stillness the whole time, I'm like, ugh. Like my body gets so like, especially now that I'm lifting again, my body's getting like sticky and stiff now. So movement is, if you're a manifesting generator, if you guys haven't figured out what your type is, and like 50% of the world, is it 50% of the world? 60%, something like that. A large number of people are generator types. There's generator types and then there's manifesting generators, and they rely on movement to access their energy. At least manifesting generators. I don't know about regular generators, but I want to say yes. When I have John on the pod, I can clarify this question with him. We're finally gonna be able to get together soon, so I have to take note of this question. Or John listens to these episodes, so maybe he'll remember for me. Um, Anywho, so I'm very excited. This is really cool. This is like the fourth episode I've recorded in 2 days, and part of me, like yesterday, like one of the last episodes when I was talking about the healthcare and the CEO death thing, I was just like, I don't know if I like this episode. I don't know. Like, I might delete it. I don't know if this is like a great topic. I didn't have like a formulated thought, like fully formed thoughts on the thing. But you know what? Like, why does it need to look perfect? Like, this is how most people like think on a daily. And I find it like, I don't know if the word unfortunate, but I was like, does us a disservice if we're always showing up perfectly? There's no representation of people showing up imperfectly in the way they share their thoughts and feelings and ideals on especially mainstream media. But I do know one person who, uh, one or two people who show up authentically on their podcasts and don't care if there are quote unquote mistakes or anything in there. So I'm really excited that like to I really think I'm gonna just hope like it's gonna come out. I'm gonna publish it as is because this is how our thoughts are, and when we haven't decided on a particular way to believe, or way to think, or like come to a conclusion on an ideal or opinion, etc. Um, that's what it sounds like. That's what the conversation looks like. It's like, conversation for later. This is like we're gonna stop and this will continue for later. And when I get more information about how I feel about this particular topic. Um there are and I wanna say like I think it's important that that is represented because I feel like a lot of people feel pressure to know what it is they think or believe or want or have an opinion on. And I think that's kind of bullshit. Like, you don't need to be certain about anything, especially when life is always changing so much. The world is changing so much. Technology and now AI is just like changing the game. Like, I'm not sure how I feel on these things just yet. But what the narrative, the mainstream narrative will have you believe is like, oh, this is bad, or the collective fears will be like, this is bad, change is not good, this is bad. And I lean on the ideal that what if we brought it the energy that we want it to be? What if this is like really good thing, and if we didn't bring it the fear, it wouldn't become the thing that we feared. Does that make sense? Um, it's like it's like how people become anxious and they see their world in the lens of anxiety. They already bring the anxious energy, the fear energy with them. So to any new scenario that becomes their reality, they see it through the lens of anxiety, through that energy, because that's the reality that they're living in their minds. And not saying that that isn't true. It absolutely is true for them if they believe that that's what they're experiencing. So, and if you've gotten to the point where you've had given yourself time to come to self-awareness, or um, reflect and take a step back, slow down. Not, and you don't even necessarily have to slow down, but just like in your thoughts, in your mind space, be like, hold up, wait a second. I'm really anxious right now. That's really weird. And it's not like I'm perfect at it. I notice it a lot more now, and it still happens to me. And I don't think we're stepping into this new way of being and way of thinking as a collective so that we could get rid of these feelings. I think as we keep stepping into new and different things in the future, creating a new reality, our feelings are still going to come through. As long as we're fucking human, we're going to have experiences. We're going to have fear. This is a part of our biology. And it's something to notice about yourself or about the situation. Um, what about this gives me anxiety? And if you've done a lot of inner work, if you're one of those, um, it'll be like that old friend that's coming up, showing up like, oh, I'm getting anxious again. Hello, old friend, kind of situation. You're like, oh, I remember this feeling. Okay, what are we moving through now? Because you would have been practice at this point, practice in how to relate with that feeling that's showing up in your body right now. And right now it's holiday season. I'm walking through the neighborhood and there's Christmas lights everywhere. And this is the time of year where everybody has family stuff like show up. It like with no like without fail. Family stuff shows up during the holidays. Like especially if you've built your own life and you spend a lot of time not with your parents, and things will just come up. And this is an inevitability. And if you're not one of these people, like, 'cause I know some people have like amazing relationships with their parents. I can count that on one hand though, so don't feel shame or guilt about being the 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 person who doesn't have a great relationship with their parents. This is this is me in different seasons of my life. I'm 40 years old, and different seasons of my life, I had shitty relationship with my dad, or I wouldn't talk to him at all. And then there's other seasons of my life where I would talk to him, and we're getting along. I'm in the season of my life where we're getting along. So that's where I am now, after not talking to him for like 2 years, literally. So it continues to come up over and over and over again. It doesn't end. So because we already know that this is coming, it's like planning. It's like planning for the future. It's like planning for the holidays. You already know the holidays are coming up in December. So why not plan figuring out what you're going to buy everybody in June? You know what I mean? Like, why do we set ourselves up every year to last minute start shopping? And like I said, everything in like the previous episodes, everything is a behavior that is hardwired into your brain. And all the behaviors that aren't serving you in this moment, that's causing you grief, when you could get ahead of it, they can be, a new behavior can be learned in its place. Um, it takes a lot of self-work, self-reflection, um, constantly like coming back to presence, being very honest with yourself about who you are in this moment, who you have been in the past, and knowing that you do not have to be that person anymore. That person that brought you to this present moment. In fact, my like slay move that I love is giving gratitude to the past versions of yourself that led you to this place. You would have not gotten to where you are at this moment if it wasn't for that past version of you that could have been a shithead. And I'm pretty sure, like, I've been someone's shithead. And, like, be honest and candid and less self-righteous about it. Like, you, if you really think about it, you were an enemy in somebody else's eyes. And that doesn't mean you were bad. It doesn't mean you're good either. It just means that that person with their set of experiences, with their upbringing, and like whatever in them got triggered by the way you are. And it doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you a bad person. So yeah, I was the bad guy in other people's stories. I had to come to terms with that because I thought I was doing everything right. I thought I could do no wrong. I always told the truth. I was always honest. I did all the right things, and I still looked like the enemy to other people, for other people, whoever those people are. I have one person in mind, but I won't say it out loud, man. It doesn't matter. And I look back at those people, I used to be very upset with them. I was like, how could they think that of me? Like, that's not whoever they think I am, they don't even know me. They don't know me. If they think that's who I am, they don't know me at all. That's, that's the thoughts that I would have. And then I realized, well, you know what? I like given this person's history, like I totally get where they're coming from and what they see in me. And if you're into um soul contracts, like okay, so let me take a step back. What is a soul contract? So I am of the belief, and you don't have to believe this, but this is what resonates with me, is that as a soul, I created a contract, a specific set of events that I wanted to experience in this lifetime before I reincarnate. Or yeah, reincarnate. And and then so that's me as a soul. And then between two different souls, two contracts are like a contract is made that we will experience this set of experiences together for whatever we need to learn. And my belief, where I'm coming from on all of this, is that like being here in this human experience is just an opportunity to learn and grow and like raise our energy and our frequency. What does raising our energy and frequency mean? That means instead of living in shame, guilt, or fear, What about joy and fun? Maybe ecstasy? That sounds actually really exciting. Usually fun and joy are the ones I like to say. More step into happiness instead of the constant energy of worries. That's what people mean by raising vibration. And when we have a contract with another person, a soul contract, we're gonna have this experience with each other, and each party's gonna learn and grow, or maybe not grow, because there is a free will aspect to it. Like, you come into this lifetime, and you're not, even though you laid out this plan for yourself, this that you want to learn the set of things so you can raise this vibration, this energy, you still have the free will in this human lifetime to not learn the lesson. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally up to you. And I've didn't come to this belief until like my last 4 years, sometime in the past 4 years. Actually, no, 2021. In I think 2021 is the year I officially started listening to like alternative spirituality podcasts, and that's where I would come up across information like this. And it made way more sense to me than anything I've ever heard of before in institutions. Um, so free will. You get to choose this whole life, everything that you do, everything is a choice. You can stay in your present vibration, and whether it's the vibration that you want or not, or you could do with improvement or not, or improvement's not the word I'm looking for, but you get to choose. Nobody's making you raise your frequency. And that's really kind of cool that universe, God, spirit, source, whatever you believe in, gave us the choice to choose for ourselves. That gives us, empowers us to make a choice, whether it be good or bad. So, yeah, free will is it's such an interesting thing. Like, now it's, what does free will look like now? And I guess I'll explain free will versus the soul path or the destiny path. Now, free will would be the path where you're not the fated path, actually, not the free will path, the fated path. That's the word I wanted to use. There's the path of fate, and there's the path of destiny, or your soul path. And the difference is the fated path is the one where you are moving along in life unempowered and encumbered by life, and making choices out of uh, limiting beliefs and not believing in yourself, or just like sleepwalking through life. I did a lot of sleepwalking through life, but I had many awakenings which like kind of opened my view of things. Like, I'll be like, oh, the like fast food isn't good for me, even though it's marketed as like I should go get that. That's exciting. But I made a conscious choice and effort to eat differently in my 20s. So that was a mini awakening. I woke up to that untruth in this life. And then the destiny path. If you are making conscious choices and efforts to raise your vibration, be in more joy and love, and actually authenticity is the word I'm looking for, the highest vibration. Um, being you unabashedly, that's your path of destiny, your soul path. And whatever visions or dreams or goals that you have for yourself, it might not be a complete picture. It will, once you start stepping into a life of making choices in that manner, it will align you with your dreams and goals. Your dream and your dream path, your dream life is the same thing as your path of destiny. And the really interesting thing about the versus the fated path versus the soul path is that the soul path is the path of the unknown. If you think you know what you're doing, you're most likely like you know where you're headed. Like you can see it down to the nail. You're most likely probably taking the free will path, the path of the fated path. Ooh, holy crap. Um, I almost got hit by a car. And I'm not gonna edit this out. I was just walking and somebody was just like, I'm just gonna turn regardless. You know, there's a lot of elderly people that live in my neighborhood, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was a person that just did not see me, but I just had to run. So, um, anyways, so the fated path, the free will path. Fuck, what was I saying? Hold on, let me press pause and rewind. Okay, I didn't find the part where yeah, because I actually got inspired to use that event. Me almost getting hit by a car, what the fuck? As a moment, an event in like that shows us how we can make choices in the moment. How do we want to react instead? So I've done a lot of inner work on myself the past 3 years. Like, you guys, like I did so much work on myself. It was almost like a fucking second job. It's ridiculous until I got fed up with myself and said, I am not a project. So, okay. So I didn't get reactive. And like I could have went and been like, what the fuck you, blah, 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 like screamed and yelled at the person. I mean, honestly, it's not even like, it's, uh, it's a, it's, it's a reaction that's granted. Like, yeah, I almost got hit by a car. Like, I could have reacted that way. But the, but it's the difference is choice. So, will I choose to react that way? Or will I choose to be like, phew, I didn't get hit by a car. Thank God. Thank you, universe. Thank you to my spirit guides. Thank you to my spirit team. Thank you to the angels that, um, kept me safe and kept me aware that this car was about to hit me. Like, I could have easily been looking the other direction and got hit by the fucking car, but no, I was actually looking in the direction of the car and I was like, holy shit, and I was able to be aware to get out of the fucking way. And there it is. Like, this is the choice. The choice to either see it from the vibration of gratitude or see it from like, fuck, the world is out to get me. Like, and then if I did choose, and if this was like, say this was 8 o'clock in the morning and I almost got hit by that car, if I chose to be upset and and there's a difference between unconscious choice and conscious choice. So if I consciously chose to be upset, that's okay. Like, I want to be upset. I want to feel this emotion and sit with it and be in this feeling and let it pass. There's something for me to learn from this emotion and something valuable. And something in my body wanted me to transmute this and turn this into something else. And what do I mean by transmuting this um this feeling? Say it's like fear. And when you let go of fears, it turns into confidence or bravery or whatever word that you would replace if you let go of fear. There's a lot of things that can replace fear. More love, more joy, and gratitude. And if I chose to unconsciously just freak out and go, ah, and yell at that person, and just, I would have at 8 in the morning, if that was the scenario at 8 in the morning, I would have carried that energy with me. I would have carried that throughout my day, and I would have told all these people throughout my day that I almost got fucking hit by a car, and that that feeling of fear, I would have spread it to everyone else. I would have spread it to other people. And as other people who their own sovereign human beings, and this is different from the sovereign that you hear in social, like, not social media, I don't know, mainstream media, whatever a sovereign citizen is, this is like a different meaning to sovereign. I'm like literally sovereign is, I'm using it as an independent person, an independent thinker, a person who can make choices for themselves, not a sovereign citizen. I'm talking about a different thing. Like I used to use the word sovereign a lot more, and depending on who I'm around, and when they hear it, they're like, "What are you talking about? That's like really weird. Those people are really weird." And I'm like, "That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just using I'm using it as an adjective." So, anyways, and not to be like, "Oh no, I'm spreading fear. I'm spreading hate or whatever." The other conscious choice that you could be making is like, I am going to share how I feel because I need to. This is what I need today, and I'm going to share it with this person. And it could either come out of me or I could ask their permission. And either direction. And that person I trust is sovereign in themselves, authentic, and know themselves well enough that what I'm about to share with them is not theirs to hold. And that's the power of learning how to engage in choice when it comes to events and feelings and our reactivity. So, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please send me questions on my email in the show notes, and I will answer them as best as I can in different ways. But you guys had a real time. Uh, how fun is that? Universe is like, we're gonna almost hit you with a car, and you're gonna get some really great content out of this. Thank you, for my little inspiration. Oh my goodness, that is freaking hilarious, you guys. So I had ended it right there, and then I re-listened to this episode, and I'm like, let me add the alternative. I forgot to add the alternative. So the alternative to um, reacting out of, so I said reacting out of fear, and then there was two choices, the unconscious choice and the conscious choice. The conscious choice to share it, or the unconscious choice to sit in the fear. The conscious choice to feel the fear on purpose, or the unconscious choice of feeling the fear regardless and then spreading it out to the world. And then that's choosing the feeling. So the other pathway could have been is what I did was choosing gratitude instead. And if I was 8 a.m. me almost getting hit by a car and choosing gratitude instead, and then being like, wow, I have great content now, I would continue throughout my day in gratitude and like, thank God I'm fucking alive. Thank God I didn't get hit by a car. Thank God I didn't fucking, or, I didn't get sent to the hospital. Like, I, I would have been probably set back, like, in all my efforts and where I want to go and blah, 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 like all the things. Like, there is a choice in how you want to feel in the situation. And like look at like if I went through my day and all the people that I interact out of gratitude and like spreading that feeling of gratitude to others because other people can feel what you are feel your energy, feel your vibration. If you're in the vibration of fear, people are going to feel your fear, your anxiety, your worry, all those things. And alternatively, they can feel your gratitude. You might become generous. They'll feel your generosity, your happiness, your light. So there are choices. But if you've never engaged in choosing a different way to react, you it's going everything you try that's new is always going to be hard. And if you haven't heard it's one of the last couple episodes. I've like recorded 5 of them now, but at this point, but if you've never tried doing it differently, it's not going to feel natural, and that is absolutely normal. Um, Start with a gratitude practice, and you'll find if, like, think of, as soon as you wake up, think of 5 things that you're grateful for. I think I showed this in another episode. And every morning, and you'll see how you start your day off with gratitude and just keep moving on in gratitude throughout the day. Um, as soon as you wake up, just think of 5 things that you're grateful for, and always try to make them different things each day. Also, if anybody is interested, I'm still doing the one-on-one journaling program where you go from overthinking into self-awareness into self-hypnosis so you can create the life you want instead. Um, I'm actually teaching the skill with people. It's $50 per session. That's still going on. I put it in the show notes. Um, and yeah, I want people to learn I want to empower people on how to navigate their life. And it's always easier to do it with somebody else. There's somebody else that can help you develop the skills. Um, like what was that the example um about the gym in my last episode. It's always easier when you do things with other people. And like, yeah. Anyways, I'm really excited about this program that's developing. Anywho, if you love this episode, I'm probably gonna title it I almost got hit by a car because that sounds really fun. Leave me a 5-star review. And like I always say, no pressure if you don't want to. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. You are a sovereign human being. Love you. Bye. I'll talk to you guys later.